An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own. Okay, what's up, listeners? We got some extra sound going on this time. You're going to hear a random squeaking in the back and a fan. It's hot. Like, at the time of this recording, it's still in the 60s here in Houston. And, like, it's a little warm. So, for today's episode, we continue to explore details and the opinions that I have about some of these rookie groups. So, we're looking at 4 groups again. Remember, we're doing 4 a day. That way we can knock this out within 7 days. So we're looking at group D1s. We're looking at Everglow, Fanatics, and EXO subunit EXO-CS. So even though they're technically not rookies, they're definitely veterans because that subunit debuted in 2019. They get to be a part of the roundup. So let's start the show.
루키 라운드업 쇼 스타트.
Look, we ain't even started and I'm already out here. Like, I know even though I'm in front of the microphone right now, the sound quality is still a little sketch. So just bear with me. I'm hot, y'all. So this particular roundup, I feel like these particular groups, with the exception of EXO-CS, I don't even feel like it's fair to talk about them, but we have to. They are a part of the Rookie Roundup. So they're going to be last because, again, Hubeis and Sunbeis, veterans and newbies. I feel like this batch of rookies, they've got far greater star quality built in than the ones we've recently spoke about. And that is interesting to me. I thought that there would be some consistency. I don't know why I drew that conclusion. I have no idea, but I just thought it'd be some consistency in terms of who is really, really new and who just is, shoved into a rookie group because maybe they've been training for 45 years. We don't really know. But this group right here, continuing the lovely, unnecessary habit of spelling stuff strangely. The group is named D1s. How is it spelled? Oh, of course it is not spelled the way it looks like. It looks like dice. It's D, the number 1, CE. Why do they keep just the games that they play with me? I need them to stop. So they are a boy band and they're on Happy Face Entertainment. And it's 5 members in this group. They debuted on August 1st, 2019. And their EP was Wake Up, Roll the World. Who the hell knows what that means? And then Wake Up was the title track. So your members are Jo Young-gyun, Kim Hyun-soo, Jung Yoo-jun, and Park Woo-dam, and Woo Jin-young. And I have no idea how old these nuggets are, but they definitely came through the path of survival shows. Now, that is a big thing that we're probably going to, what I'm noticing now, we're probably going to come across very often when we're talking about these groups, developing a sense of exposure in advance of actual debut, getting some excitement going on. So one of the members, Jung Yoo-jun, let's see. I don't like when I'm reading these things in English because what it appears to be in English is not consistent with the correct pronunciation. And there's nothing that frustrates me more than having the capacity to say someone's name correctly, yet you continue to butcher it. That's something that happens a lot to minorities. We get it quite often where we're told that our names are too difficult to pronounce and we end up getting a nickname. But your baby is out here named Apple Bottom Jeans Boots with the Fur. And we just supposed to be able to say that. So Jung Yoo-jun was a contestant in the Mnet Survival Series Boys 24, which that took place in 26. And he was a part of the pre-debut team Unit Blue. Then we have members Woo-dam and Jin-young and Young-gun. They were in the Mnet Survival Series Produce 101 Season 2. We've spoken about that already. That particular season is the one that created 101. And for that, they placed 35th, 40th, and 93rd respectively. So we weren't going to hear too much from them. Then they came back around and put some of the members into Mix 9. So like they just spent a lot of time between 2016 and 2017 fighting for their right to sing in front of our faces. And in other circumstances, I might have a few complaints about it, but with this, not in the least bit. They definitely utilized those experiences to be able to create a very strong debut. Wake Up is a good song. I wish that the production had a little bit more consistency with the bass. Now, let me clarify, because some of you have never been exposed to my GMPD things, great moments in production and delivery. They have a song that's engineered to deliver the experience of a real dance track, but the bass line isn't as heavy as it could be. Now, granted, I understand I am a bass junkie. I want my ears to rattle. I want my soul to be compromised just a little bit in the experience. But because of that, it didn't deliver as hard as I would have hoped. But that does not take away from the fact that it's a solid debut song. The video of it is really good. The performance quality is there. So hopefully they'll be around. I don't know when the next project is going to be released. They released that August 1st, 2019, and there hasn't been anything else just yet. So we'll just have to see what happens with these gentlemen. I do wish them some serious luck. Now we jump over to the lovely ladies of Everglow, and they debuted while I was still in Korea. They debuted March 18th, and I definitely know about them because you could not get away from Bomb Bomb Chocolate nowhere. Like it was all over the place. I also know about them because one of the members participated and produced 101, the first one. I was a very big fan of the show. I'm an IOI fan, and she finished 40th place, the member that I'm speaking about in this particular group. But like I knew that this was eventually going to come because I kept up with as many of the young ladies from that show as possible. So Everglow, girl group, they're on Yuhua Entertainment, and it's 6 members. So you have, I always do this with her name. Her name is EU. Her name is E:U. And I mean, that's a way to stylize it that definitely prevents it from being confused with their senior artist, soloist IU. But like, I don't think anybody could ever be confused with her. She's a freaking goddess in her own right. So this young lady will just have to go towards that in her own direction, in her own performance. So we have EU, Shihyun, Mia, Anda, Asia, and Yirin. Now, I'm not certain if it's Asia or if it's Aisha. I'm not going to assume. I'm going to look it up. So we're just going to take a quick detour. We're going to go to Everglow member profiles. And we're going to go to you. Lord have mercy. Yours and mine and many other K-pop fans' favorite website. It's the default. It's like the library of existence. We're going to kprofiles.com. We're doing what I do best. I'm reading before my brain can catch up with what I'm saying. It's pathetic. All right. Everglow. Let's see what these names are. So we have EU, who's their leader. She's the same zodiac sign as me. She's May 19th. I'm May 1st. She's a Taurus, and she represents the color purple. Then we have Shihyun, who is the color green. I don't know what the colors represent, whatever. Han Eun-ji, aka Mia. She is the one who has the low range, the low register voice in the group, and she represents red. I think that's dope. She's also one of the rappers. And then we have Onda, whose real name is really Jo Seidem. She's a Taurus too. All right, man, come on now. She represents the color pink. And I'm not shocked that she is a big fan of Taeyeon from Shonashide and Ariana Grande. It kind of comes off in her performance quality. That's pretty dope. And then the name that I was uncertain about, her name is Aja. So her real name is Ho Yurim, but her stage name is Aja. So to us Americans or other Westerners, we might call it Asia, but it's in Hangul as Aja. and she shares her birth date with another rookie group, Itzy Leah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's real dope that they're both. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, just to do your first year with another group that's doing well and they're rookies as well, and you're both in the trenches and you share your birthday. And Itzy's gonna be who we talk about first on day number 4 for the Rookie Roundup, ironically. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, the young ladies did win a music program broadcast before the year was up. That's really dope. So it was September 24th when they won their first music broadcast performance. They won on the show. And like I said, I was there when Bon Bon Chocolate was all over the place. The video editing for Adios is a bop. Like, the song is fun. It reminds me a lot of the song Sugar Free. Now, maybe you know about the song, maybe you don't, but if you listen to Adios by Everglow first, and then you listen to the song Sugar Free by Tiara, it's a disbanded group, but if you listen to that, it came out 2014. It came out in 2014. Everglow is right in that pocket. I get a bit of After School as well as Tiara in this group, but they're doing well in Korea. They've got a really positive fan base and whatnot, so I do hope that they continue on for many years to come. And then we're going to hop over to another girl group, which is Fanatics. Now, I just mentioned another group that, although hasn't officially disbanded, they are on long-term hiatus after school. This group has a subunit that reminds me a lot of, well, is it this? Yeah, the subunit. Let me get it right. They have a subunit that reminds me a lot of After School subunit, Orange Caramel. So Fanatics is a 6-member Korean girl group, and they're on Fent. So that's Fent. That's the name of the label. And it was formed in 2018, but their subunit, Fanatics Flavor, they debuted November 26, 2018. So the whole 6 of them didn't really debut until August 6th of 2019. So because there was a subunit that came beforehand, we will only just mention it at this point, and then we're done with it, and we'll go on to looking at the 6. The music is a little cutesy wootsy to me. But it's not bad. Like, I'm not gonna rush off to it. I enjoyed the choreography of Milkshake, but we're not talking about their subunit. We're talking about the entire group. So their first album is called The Six, and it's an extended play. So you have Sunday, Remember Me, Follow Me, and then a Chinese version of the song Milkshake. And then they have a single album, Milkshake, under the subunit. So even though I keep saying we're not going to talk about it, we're doing a whole bunch of talking about it, aren't we? The members are Shika, Doi, Chaden, like CL, saying Sharon. So Chaden, Chiai, which is really interesting to me, Chiai, Yunhei, and Doa. Those are the 6 members. I don't know about the longevity of them, but their sound would definitely appeal to younger ladies. Middle schoolers will probably dig them quite a bit, and I don't blame them. They're cutesy. It's just I'm a little bit too big for it. And if you're an older listener, they might not appeal too much to you as well. And then finally, we get to these, we get to these veterans who happen to be a subunit, EXO-SC, which is for Sehun and Chanyeol. And it's the second official subunit of EXO. So yes, there are other ones, but this is the second official one. And this was debuted July 22nd, 2019. Now, they definitely have done things on Station, which is a whole different dynamic under the SM brand. But they, as a formally debuted subunit, didn't occur until July 22nd, 2019 with the EP What a Life. So Chanyeol and Sehun, just in case you didn't know, they are members of this freaking juggernaut of a group called EXO, who we cannot get involved with just yet. Just know that at one point in time there were 12 and then there's 9, but technically it's just 6, but it's like 8, but it's a lot going on in there, and I can't wait until we get to them. I just throwing it out there. They've been called the biggest boy band in the world and the kings of K-pop by countless media outlets. This is no shade to my other boys who I love deeply, BTS, but like it's a spot up in the chesticles for EXO that is in a separate heart valve, a separate division of my heart that is away from my bias groups and other groups that had a really, really huge impact on me getting into K-pop. In fact, they are one of the groups. They're not the quintessential. That was Big Bang in 21. But EXO is definitely off to that special, my first year in all of this side. So seeing that there's a subunit got me very excited. And I definitely love the production of it. I'm not too sold on Chanyeol and Sehun holding down an entire album on their own. Yes, they have charisma and whatnot. The visuals are enough to make one's nose bleed. The videos are gorgeous. But when I think of EXO, I don't think of their rappers. I just don't. I think of the entire package. I think of the vocal strength. Chin, Dio, like Baekhyun, like it, and the Devil Dance Sakai. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about these two. The production of this is insane. What a Life is really, 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 really good sounding. Just Us 2 is my favorite. I love the way it sounds. What a Life is the first one they dropped out. Closer to You is pretty good, but if you're a fan of EXO, you're going to love it just by default. We can't help that. If you're being a little bit more particular about rap quality and things of that sort, you might have some moments where you're just like, the song sounds good and the chorus is catchy. And that's where I am with it. But it is enjoyable. And since these are people who are fully acclimated to what's necessary to really pull off a great performance, they bring it to the table. And it's somewhat different from what they provided on station. So I know I kind of jumped around a little bit with these groups, and it doesn't, I mean, it is 4, but it really feel like 3 plus like a special. And that's going to also happen on day 4 because we're going to touch base with GOT7 subunit Just 2, which is the second, possibly the second official, because I don't know if they count when they're in Japan as a subunit or if it's just a whole. We'll know when we get to day 4. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will catch you in the next one and have a good one. Bye, y'all.
Your favorite foreign Korean music historian exploring all the industry from A to Z.
There's sponsored ads and social media hashtags, but this show is truly supported by the efforts of my Migualas, the most amazing fan base a little entertainer could ever have. Special shout out to my Patreon patrons, the student body, and the scholars who keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian exploring all the industry from A to Z a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedacg. And for as little as $1 a month, you can get in on the magic too. Interested in continuing your support at the free $99 price? I love you for it. You can still engage with the show when you retweet, repost, and share the show and use hashtag A3 and the word DAY. You can also tag MULTIFACETEDACG to get my attention. And if you're listening to this podcast on a platform other than Anchor.fm, please leave a few stars or a review to keep things growing in the right direction.